Hey guys, this is Dan Greck from The Road Chose Me, and you are listening to the Trailhead podcast.
Hello, Trailheads, and welcome to the Trailhead. Before the trails start today, we need to have a short safety meeting. Off-roading is an exhilarating but inherently risky sport. The insights and opinions that are shared by our hosts and any experts or guests on the podcast are intended to inform and inspire, not replace professional guidance. The Trailhead guests, partners, and any sponsors are not liable for any actions that you take based on what you hear. It is your responsibility to seek professional advice and make informed decisions, especially when attempting potentially dangerous activities. Always check current trail conditions and comply with local laws and regulations. Off-roading requires careful preparation and respect for safety, so ensure that you're well prepared before hitting the trails. And now that that's out of the way, buckle up and let the stories begin.
Welcome to the Trailhead, where trails start and stories unfold.
One, two, three.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Now here's JD.
Welcome to the Trailhead, everybody. How y'all doing?
Good.
Hey everyone.
We are actually live on Instagram, and we are back on Friday nights because we all determined that it just wasn't working for us the other way around. So I like this.
See, the thing about Monday night is while we're almost always all rounded up and we're there, the problem is that you have to go to work the next morning. And sometimes to make it as funny as I want to make it, I need a little more social lubrication than my metabolism allows for going to work the next day.
Yeah. Yep, I like this better too. That's yeah.
Then,
So,
and then we were sitting at
what are
home
you
on
drinking?
Friday night doing nothing. So tonight
There's
is
that too.
Yeah, tonight there's Bullet Bourbon and Sprite with looks like a couple bugs.
Oh my gosh.
Snacks.
They're
All
dead
right.
in there.
Yep, they were sitting in there in the bottom, kind of like the caterpillar in the bottom of the mezcal.
Oh my god.
Nice. Randy, you're already shaking your head moments into the show with Pope. How are you doing?
I'm just good. I'm just drinking an Arnold Palmer.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
staying in here, but then I have like other stuff over there in case I need it later.
Yeah, let's throw it. I might switch to this because I'm not sure I want to continue drinking bugs.
Okay.
No, they're already scooped out. They're fine. They're not there anymore. Bahama Mama from Bacardi.
Yeah, so maybe that.
I was at a comedy club last weekend, and I ordered it's a creamsicle drink that they have there, and it's really good when it's hot outside. And she brings out this drink, and I take a swig of it, and I'm like, "There's rum in this," and I'm like, "There's no rum in the creamsicle." I'm like, "There's," and then she tried to argue with me, and I'm just like, "Just bring me a beer." So, yeah, there we go.
There might be rum in that.
There's rum in that, but the reason why we have it is because we have a snow cone machine, and when you need like adult snow cones, you have to have the right. And so I was like, well, that could work tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you guys inspired me. So I'm going to be, and I may as well talk about it now. I'm going to be at the All for Fun event in Buena Vista in July 21st through the 26th. And we're going to actually record the show live there with Marcus Trusty, who's been on the show before, and Ryan Bedreau is going to come on from Trails Off-Road. But I've been getting ready to get things going for that, and completely lost the train of thought as to what I was going to talk about.
Snow cones.
Oh, snow cones. So as a part of the preparation for that, I wanted to get a fridge because it's going to be a lot of camping for a long period of time. And I finally got a fridge and it's in part because I know I can now keep ice and bring a snow cone machine and make snow cones if I want to. So
It's fun. It's like the easiest trail snack.
Oh, 100%. So
Yep,
yeah,
it really is.
Thanks for the inspiration to spend money.
For sure.
That's what we're here for.
I don't need much. I don't need much in the way of like push. So if I'm being honest, I need someone to blame when I make a bad decision.
I know a lot of people who have bought snow cone machines because of me. They're like, that is easy. That is easier than I thought it would be. This is awesome. So yeah.
Yeah, why not?
One thing I found is we were trying to decide what we were doing for the Rubicon because we wanted to be in the lake, but also still have fun with our gimmicks. and we didn't, but I found some snow cone machines that were manual, so you just had to have ice and then you could crank them. You didn't need any electricity. But that might be safer in the middle of the water.
Yeah, it might be.
Than a jackery, but then we decided that we didn't want to sit there spending our whole afternoon cranking out snow cones by hand when we're trying to lay in the lake.
At some point, it's going to be a hard workout. Like, at some point, it's just not going to be comfortable anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not bringing snow cones on the Rubicon.
No.
If you jumped on Jeepers Jamboree to get snow cones on the Rubicon,
it's not happening.
It's not happening.
All right, you got to bring your own BYOSC. Bring your own snow cone.
Bring your own snow cones.
Oh boy! All right. Well, Alyssa, what are you drinking? Or other than water?
I have mead, actually. So
mead.
It's like
That's a new one.
Yeah, it's like a mixed berry mead from Superstition Meadery.
All right.
They're in Prescott. They're out of Prescott. And they have a location in downtown Phoenix. So yeah, so like 14.5% right here.
Oh, you're going to be real good when we get to 60 minutes, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I'm just not going to like keep pouring whiskeys, but we'll both be on the same level by the end of this.
Well, we can hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sticking with the Cutwaters again. I'm still doing the White Russians because I'm currently fixated on it. So we'll see how long that lasts.
Nice.
Yeah,
I've been following this guy on Instagram that makes mead, and he makes mead out of anything you can because it's pretty much sugar and water is basically all you really need. And so he makes it out of he makes all kinds of fruit ones and stuff, but he made a Mountain Dew mead.
Whoa.
It was really interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, so he took Mountain Dew, and he was worried that like the preservatives in Mountain Dew would make it not work, but it was like 14%. And he said it was just really sugary and citrusy, but then it had like a weird chemical aftertaste, so it wasn't as great as he thought it would be.
That was all the preservatives. He was they got brought up to the surface for tasting.
Probably. He should have used Baja Blast. It's way better for that kind of stuff.
He should have used Baja
He did,
Blast.
actually. That was his next one, is because somebody said that. So he tried it. Anyway, it's very interesting. I don't know what his name is, but he's really entertaining. He pops up on my feed with his new mead every week.
I feel like I saw that because
Cool.
All right. Yeah. I have no desire to make my own liquor. I barely have enough desire to like mix my own drinks. So kudos to you for at least putting it in a jar and letting it sit for 45 days. I think that's what it's like.
Something like that.
So, Beatrice
Requires
JKU
patience.
was commenting that in Vegas it was 115 today.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, and I have been in Vegas when it was 118 degrees, and it was unpleasant. Yeah.
We've been in Sand Hollow and it's 115, and like it feels like the surface of the sun out on those rocks.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
And it's not even good for your vehicles to be out trying to do that kind of stuff that weather. Like if you're out there in the peak of the heat, it like regular driving, sure, no problem. Although I did see that your tires melt to the pavement, apparently.
Wait, is this from experience or something you saw in a YouTube video?
Something I saw on Instagram. I'm sure it was fake. It just was like the tires are literally melting to the ground. And then the next video I see is someone walking around on the hottest day in Phoenix, and their shoes are melting to the ground.
Oh yeah, yep. We saw that when I was in Vegas. We saw heels going into asphalt.
Yeah, the Sand Hollow is way too hot on that. Like your stuff melt. Like your engine doesn't like climbing in that kind of heat. I mean,
no.
things just start overheating.
That's when you go out at night.
Yeah, you go out at night, and for sure.
Well, it's because your engine's supposed to work in harmony with your engine fan's supposed to work in harmony with a little bit of motion, and you're really not doing a lot of it in 100-degree heat.
Right.
That's exactly the problem. Yeah.
Yep. You got to. I felt like explaining physics. I don't know why. Let's see here. We didn't get any new reviews this week, and it's been 2 weeks, so I'm very disappointed in all of you. I feel like I know there's more of you out there. I see you. I see you in the numbers. Leave us a review. We're going to give away a bunch of crap at 30. We have a Switch panel. We have some T-shirts. We have stickers, and I'm working on getting some more stuff between now and then. So,
Heck yeah.
get in on that. Leave us a review on Apple Podcast and send me a screenshot. Either DM us on Instagram or shoot me an email at jd@thetrailheadnetwork.com. Let's see here. I also have a note for myself to remind me, if you have an off-roading event like All for Fun or something like that you would like to promote, please get a hold of me as well. That's something that I have no problem probably talking about, especially if it's a local to one of us as a host. And always, as always, leave us a phone number, leave us a message at 719-408-0132. Y'all want to guess if we have a voicemail this week?
Nathan's in the chat right now. So
is he? All right. Sorry, Nathan. Yep. No, we actually have two. He's hello, Nathan. All right. Let's see here.
That is me. It won't let me change my name to anything besides the. So now I'm not the Pope anymore. I'm just the.
You're just the. I mean, you're getting more like higher and higher on the chain, isn't it? Like when you get less and less words for your name.
I think so.
You're only at one word, 3 letters.
Yeah, there we are.
It's better than share. All right.
It's better than share. That's who you came up with.
You know what? That's all I had. Leave me alone.
Creative voicemail message.
Believe it or not, George isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beach.
Joe is on a vacation far away.
Yo, 148, 3 to the 3 to the 6 to the 9, representing the ABQ.
Oh, shit.
Good morning. On the last episode, y'all were talking about tire damage and trail repairs as far as that goes, and doing what you could to not have to change tire. I was surprised that nobody mentioned glue tread. I'm guessing y'all have never heard of it then. Company, basically, they make a product specialized for patching sidewalls, so you don't have to change your tire on the trail. You can just basically patch it, air it back up, and continue on your way. Now, I personally don't have any experience with it yet. It's on my list of things that get and add to my gear bag for the truck. I was about to order it before our AOA trip a month ago, and I ended up buying a full-size spare, so I kind of delayed that. But something I should still have, because I can't remember who on the show mentioned it, but if you don't have to change an entire tire on the trail, that'd be preferable. I'd rather just patch it and air it up and go on my way. But maybe something you want to look into. I think it's like $50-$60 or something for their basic kit. Throw that in there and be good to go. A little bit of insurance, if you will. Because the one thing I know they have that they sell as well, I believe it's the brand, was it Colby Valve, I think it is, if I'm remembering that correctly. And they do the valve stems that you could actually thread in a new valve stem from the outside of the wheel, so you don't have to break the bead. And that actually would have came in handy. Just a couple weeks ago, I was up at the Bantam Jeep Heritage Festival, and there was a Jeep that in the mud pit actually ripped off one of their valve stems. So we were trying to break the bead on their tires so they could swap it out. But Colby Valve would definitely come in handy there, because it got them aired up and back on their way. So a couple things there to look at if you're looking for some options for tire and wheel trail damage repairs and stuff like that. So that's all I got for now. Thanks. Hey, I sneak one more in here before the Friday show.
There's two.
Had just some good news. As of 2 days ago, Wednesday, Pennsylvania has finally taken the steps to join the 49 other states and make it so it's no longer illegal for us to drive our Jeeps and Broncos with the doors off. For the longest time now, Pennsylvania's been the only state where it's still technically illegal on the books to take the doors off your vehicle and drive. Luckily, where I'm at, that's not really anything that local law enforcement cares about. They never really ticket anybody for it, but I know different jurisdictions around the state, they can crack down on people pretty harshly. So, but they just passed the bill on Wednesday. So I guess something like the governor's got to sign it, or I don't know, all that legal rigmarole. But it's about time, and make it official, and then we can join everybody else, not have to worry about getting a ticket for something as simple as enjoying the nice weather with the doors off our vehicle. That was built to take the doors off the vehicle. So that's all I wanted to say. Had some good news. Can't wait to hear the podcast later. Thanks.
So,
all right. Now I know Pope has something to say about the glue tread.
Yeah.
Go for it.
yeah, that's what fell off. That's what fell off and didn't work.
Yeah.
The problem with glue tread is it's $60 for one. And then you go out there with this science kit and you have all these things, you have these things you have to mix together. And the problem is it dries up.
And one of the bottles, like, our friend has now bought 2 sets of glue tread. And the first set, the activator, was open when he went to use it the first time. And then the second time, they sent the activator separately so that it wouldn't do it. And it leaked out again. So we didn't have all the parts to it.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have a glue tread thing, check it before you leave. Don't open that package.
Because if you open it on the trail, you're gonna be disappointed. My friend Josh was disappointed twice in a row by it. The other thing about the tire plugs in the sidewall is that kit, like the slime ones, or there's even other brands of those, but those ones are about $15 to $20 for a package, and they work several times. And it seems like with the glue tread stuff, once you mix all that glue and stuff together, you've used it once and that's it. It's a one-time use thing, and you can continue holding on to the rest of the patches and the plugs on the sidewall stuff for a while. The other solution that Josh used, the sidewall slug, I think it requires you to file down, and I think the glue tread would require this too, because we try to use the sidewall patch. The problem with the sidewall patch is get with our Jeeps, all those letters on the side that they put on there that say what kind of tire it is, you have to file all those down perfectly flat to get it to hold air. And the same thing with the sidewall slug, you have to basically file down your letters on the sidewall to get that thing to shut tight and make a seal.
Well, and after a whole weekend of all kinds of tire stuff, the winner was the slugs. Like, or the little sidewall, or the
tire plugs.
The sidewall clamps?
Yeah. The tire plugs. The sidewall clamp actually leaked air a lot. You had to keep an eye on it. The tire plugs.
The sticky tire plugs, and you can shove as many in there as you possibly have to do. I can tell you for a fact that was the best. It held up. He was able to drive all the way home.
It still has air in the tire, even though it's been sitting on the side of the house off the Jeep for about 2 weeks. It still has air in it. So that's my experience. I mean, your miles may vary, and I would invite Glue Tread to teach me how to properly use their product.
Or for them to send it out without having the activator spill everywhere and not be present twice. Like, it wasn't just one time that it happened, it was twice that it happened. That, like, the Glue Tread activator spray basically was dried up and spilled out because we opened up the package and we pulled the bottle out, and it's like the lid was popped.
Because in my mind, the easiest thing to do would be to fill that hole with glue and then stick a patch over the sidewall. That should be the very easiest thing to do. But the fact that there's raised letters on the sidewall makes it kind of prohibitive. You basically have to go out there with sandpaper and other pieces of equipment to make sure you can get your tire completely bald.
But the slugs were amazing.
Yep.
We watched 3 different methods, and the one that worked the best was the slugs. Was the little sticky. So just to give your opinion on 3 different things watching it.
All right.
That's good to know, because I've had a Glue Treads pack, I think almost 3 years now. And yeah, I've never opened it. I've never needed it.
Probably check it.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Check it, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was like actual like liquid stuff in there.
Yeah, and I think the worst thing that people do, including us, is you go out on the trail and you learn how to use this product for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And and then the glue also expires, yeah. So like going out and learning how to use it for the first time, I would definitely see if you can try to make it work. Maybe you don't pop a hole in your tire, but see if you can at least get it to stick to the sidewall.
But I think those plugs, man, watching him just like kind of find out how big the hole was, and then we just shoved three in there, but I've seen somebody shove like 10 and they got off the trail.
Yep.
So they like kind of expand. And
this weekend we had a Jeep Grand Cherokee, so a car on the trail. And
oh, nice.
And
it's a Jeep.
It's a Jeep, and it was actually, so they're actually on a trail. We were on a trail they were supposed to be on. It's a fire road that's really beautiful. Anyone could take any car on that, probably. Actually, you need to be able to go to 4-low. That's the minimum requirement, I would say. But they took that up there, and it got a flat tire. And I swear to God, they had that tire changed in 15 minutes on that on that thing.
I know.
Someone had a bottle jack and an impact drill, and they had that thing like NASCAR pit stop.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Impressive. The person's going to tell that story for the rest of their lives.
I didn't walk back to see where they were because they were far.
They were far back from us, and then by the time we would have walked back there, they were done.
Mm-hmm.
They literally like boom boom.
Now the other thing that Nathan suggested, I actually been hearing about those lately, and I want to get some of those in my gear just to throw those in the valve stem replacements.
The Colby valves.
Yeah, the Colby valve that you can install from the outside. I think that's a pretty slick thing, and so we definitely want to look at that. I think there's one that you can kind of like shove in there that kind of pushes in, and then I think there's one.
Yeah, and it's a reasonable price. This is a 2-pack for $30.
For $30, if you lose a valve stem on the trail, you could probably replace it without.
And it looks like a plunger. And I'm guessing you just kind of plunge it in, and then you got to screw it together to cinch it.
Yep.
Huh. That's really impressive. I like that. Okay. Because that's the only. I mean, I'm not really that terrified that I'm going to have that kind of a problem. I'm more likely to tear a sidewall because that's what's happened twice now for me. But you guys,
how did you fix your sidewall?
I didn't.
How did you? You didn't. You just changed.
I drove 3 miles on it, and it managed to hold up. So good on you, Goodyear. A flat tire held for 3 miles.
Impressive.
And then a nice guy who happened to have a ranch nearby had an impact drill and helped us out. So
yeah, that's another thing when you're going out on the trail and you have a spare tire, make sure you know how to change it and you can actually change it.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure
check your gear.
Check your gear to make sure your gear includes all the things you need to change your tire, whether you have a tire wrench or whether it's just like a 19 millimeter socket and a breaker bar. You got to have something to take that tire off, and you got to have something to put it back on.
Yeah, we were out in the backcountry near Grand Junction, and I had not checked the bottle jack, and the bottle jack did not have fluid in it. It had tipped over at some point and leaked all the fluid out, and it was not going to hold anything up. And yeah, that's a really bad place to find that out at.
Yep, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let that be a reminder to you too. Depending on your type of bottle jack, make sure you're storing it properly and storing it upright. Anyhow, all right. Well, yeah, I'll put those in the show notes for the glue thread. I've heard kind of the same things about glue thread, and I know I heard Josh talk about it last week, and he kind of threw it away as a comment, and he kind of went on to what he did end up using. But it's not the first time that I've heard that, and I think that would be my fear, is I would not check it, and it would be that one time I needed it that it was dry or that it had punctured or sprayed at some point. So, all right, it's good feedback.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what was the other thing was the bill of line? Oh, for no driving without a door, driving without doors here.
Huh.
Let's see here.
Is it like only for vehicles designed to take the doors off, or can you go take your Jeep Renegade and take the doors off?
I'll take your thunder here for just a minute, Pope. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Currently, Jeep and Broncos owners must have doors on their vehicles unless they're going off-road in Pennsylvania, but that could soon change. SB 298 by Senator Devlin Robinson will change the safety guidelines and make it legal for those vehicles to be driven without doors. Jeeps, Broncos, they have to have side view mirrors and protections for minors. So it looks like it's headed for Josh Shapiro's desk now. So it doesn't seem to indicate that he's going to veto it or anything. So it looks like that's going to become law at some point for them soon. Interesting.
Cool. That's
I didn't
fun.
know. I figured it was just something for cops to get annoyed with me about and claim that they had something to give me a ticket for, because that's what they did in Illinois.
Well, what state was that again?
Illinois. Oh, that was they just wanted to harass
No,
people.
what was the state that just did this bill?
This is Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the fun side of Jeeping, Pennsylvania.
I feel like they've been doing it. People have been doing it anyway.
Probably.
Just risking the ticket. So.
And you got the thing, make sure you don't litter with your ducks. Don't let your ducks fall out the doors.
Yeah, that's the truth. Don't litter with anything. Let's be honest. There's a lot of stuff that can fly out of a Jeep when you're on the highway.
Yeah, like your receipts. Your
receipts.
Your bag's full of stuff.
Your CVS receipts.
Your CVS receipts. Your insurance paperwork. The little things.
Your registration.
Your registration. Your wife. That'll happen too. Wear your seatbelts, folks.
And if you've never had your doors off of your Jeep, it's like walking around with your pants off. It's amazing. It's the best feeling ever.
It is.
There's a follow-up question I'm not going to ask here.
There's just something about the free-flowing nature of having your doors off. So welcome to
just
the Jeep
feeling the
community.
legs or feeling the breeze between your legs. I get it. All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's something neat about it. We don't drive without our doors all the time. And usually if we're on a trail, we'll probably put tube doors on. The downside of it is that if it's like Arizona and Utah and Nevada right now, it's an air fryer outside. So you don't have your doors on, your air conditioning is worthless. And so you may have noticed, even though it's the middle of summer, the Misfits roof and doors are still on, despite we're doing the crappy drives. And I don't care. I'm just making it hot. I'm just taking it. And I'm like, if I scratch at the doors, who cares? I just really want it to be nice in here.
Yeah. For me, it's more of the weather is too unpredictable. So I end up running with the doors on because I don't know what I'm going to encounter here. It can change really rapidly, and it's not fun in the rain anymore. Not at my age. It's just not.
Well, on the flip side, I'm running half doors and no screen on my top because I want everybody to see my cage.
That's awesome.
And it's really hot and really dusty. It's a newfound thing. I have a screen coming, but
okay,
it's fine.
Is it not? You just don't have one at all, or you're really trying to enjoy it
right now? It's really nice.
Okay.
It's fun to and I feel like I'm being cooked. I'm so burnt. I keep having to put on. Yeah. But it's the best thing ever.
Nathan says he runs tube doors when the full doors are off. I like that myself also, either that or the half doors. The tube doors give you still that open air freedom feeling, but you're still protected from the elements. Like the wrong rock comes in your doorway, it could get your leg or something. I mean, you're reducing the chances. I mean, you still could be hit by something, but we always think of it like when we see our friends tip over and they end up resting their door on the rock, that's, if there's no door there.
I've rested my tube door on a rock.
Yeah.
Several times.
Multiple times. And if that tube door wasn't there, then it might have been the roof or...
Might have been check local listings. Not every tube door is going to hold up to that. So make sure that you're putting your faith in the doors.
Yep.
And that's the other thing is I think in your guys' situation, a cheap door would be way more dangerous.
I actually have these tube doors they were from Northridge, but they were on the low end of the price spectrum from Northridge. I'm not gonna. They kicked ass until I let one fall off.
Yeah.
Like it came unhinged and then it just flew right off. That would happen to all of them though. No, they're actually pretty good. I still trust them. A lot of people, they look really nice. They look nice and clean when they're installed.
Nice.
Just need to find better mirrors.
Alyssa, when you taking the doors off the Toyota?
I want to so bad. It's just 118 out here.
Do it with the Toyotas?
Yeah, you can take them off and then tuck the wires and then it's not easy, but there's some trucks that do it. They're usually the trucks in Colorado, though. But I've seen like a couple Tacomas do it, and it looks really nice.
Really? I have not
Like,
seen
imagine a
anything but
Tacoma
like...
with tube doors or
Really?
something like that. That would
Yeah.
be really rad.
I saw someone come out with those like a year or two ago, and they
Huh.
also
Oh,
look really
cute.
nice. They're
Okay.
expensive, but I was like, I would totally do that
I'm
if
here
I could
for it.
use
Go
it
for
more
it.
than like once a year.
So a lot of times Jeep aftermarket parts are kind of cheap by comparison. How are Toyota aftermarket parts? Like if you were to pick up these Toyota aftermarket doors, are they putting like bells
It
and
would be.
whistles into them, or is it
What kind of
like
specialty upmarket are you taking?
Those doors, because I think only one person makes them, they can make them a lot or like expensive. Anything else though, aftermarket can be like cheap to expensive, and everything is so similar anyway in between. But those like tube doors specifically, I've only seen one company make them, and I don't remember how much they cost, but I was like, I'm not paying that for funsies. Yeah.
I'm not there yet.
No.
Well, I think when you
Alright.
have a vehicle that's not designed for the doors to come off, getting it
Yeah.
lined back up again correctly when you install it again might be a little difficult as well. You know,
That's true. I didn't even think about that
the
part.
reveal between the fender and the door, or the two doors, or however it's
Like,
set
what's
up.
the weight on your door? Do you know?
Ooh,
Like, I
I
know
don't
mine's
know.
heavy. Mine's a
So, yeah.
yeah. I had a TJ, and that was a decently, it's a moderate, I would say, heavy. But the JK, all the electronics in it and everything else, it's heavy.
Do you know what's funny is
Let me see.
I had a JK before I had the JL, and I honestly like the JK top and the JK doors are twice as heavy as the JLs. Is that
Really?
crazy? Like the
Because of
top
the
is
aluminum?
immensely lighter. I don't know. I just like I remember thinking pulling the doors off of my JK was like super heavy, but it was in 2012, so it might have been one of the earlier. But it was interesting. The top was a nightmare, and I feel like when we went to go do the JL, we like lifted it really high compared to it because it was a lot lighter.
Yeah, we were expecting to like really have to lift it.
And it was like, oh,
the JL's roof is made out of like the same-ish material.
Same
It just might be
fiberglass.
lighter weight. Yeah, it just might be lighter weight.
Your doors make sense because your doors are aluminum.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that
I just
that
remember
height,
it being. It's. I mean, they've evolved, I guess.
It is real hard to find a weight on the door alone for a Toyota Tacoma.
Are you Googling too? I can't find it.
Yeah, I asked Microsoft Copilot. I figured that was the quickest way, and the most it can give me is the vehicle weight, and that's not going to help us. So I know how heavy the JK door is, and I imagine Tacoma door is just going to be heavy. You almost need. There's tons of contraptions to get your doors off of a Jeep now. And you probably have to hijack one of those to help you get your doors on and off if you want to do that too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not impossible.
Probably heavy. I mean, I know like when it's windy, they knock me over. So they're heavy. Or on a slope.
There you go.
Actually, yeah, on a slope, like if we pause on a mountain or if like the driveway is super steep and I try to get out, it will I'm fighting it to get out and it before it slams on me. Yeah, they're heavy.
Yeah, I think that would be my only
some
concern.
Doors. They're not what I.
Oh, okay.
They're not the ones I was picturing.
But that's cute though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I make my 2020 Tacoma shipbox, it'll have those doors.
And then there's these.
Those are cute.
Those aren't tube. They're just. I don't know what you call them.
Those are.
What did you guys call them?
That's a whole like
half
it
doors.
looks like an ATV.
That's a half door. Kind of. And
then it's like a razor door.
Yeah, those are kind of cool. Actually, I like them. They're fun.
I kind of want to make one of those.
I kind of want to make one of those. He says.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
actually, that's fun.
Yeah, look how fun that is.
Mm-hmm.
That's
not bad. I'm not mad at it. I can't. There you go. That's actually. I love the name of that vehicle too. Sloth. That's awesome.
It's accurate. We're pretty slow.
Like I pulled this up. I thought it was a piece of fender, and then I was like, nope, that's a door frame.
All
right.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, how much do
Okay.
the doors weigh? 45 pounds. Wait, maybe.
Okay.
Well,
I
that's
don't
these
know.
doors, though.
No,
Ooh,
really?
that's a fun price. Oh, that's not, they're not going to tell you the price of the Tacoma door. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to find that out until
They
you've
weigh
tried to take them off.
120.
Ooh,
Inner
yeah.
door panels. I have no idea. This one says 120. I don't know.
That's probably a good number. I mean, that feels about
Probably.
accurate. Yeah.
Fab
I
Four.
feel like the JKs
That
are
looks like a
around.
Fab Four thing.
It does look like
Maybe.
a Fab Force thing,
Yeah, it does.
actually.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in the Jeep community do not like Fab Four stuff.
Because most of the Fab Four Jeep shit is like ugly.
Yeah, it's really ugly. Like they're the grumper people.
Yeah.
And
The grump. Oh,
yeah, like
yeah.
like
There's
if you want to
headlights.
make the front of your Jeep look like a locomotive, that's like the
Oh,
like an
those
angry,
ones.
like an angry locomotive.
But
Yeah,
his
like,
old bed rails.
yeah. My bed rack on the JT before I bobbed it was actually from Fab Fours.
And everybody was shocked.
Everyone's shocked because they liked it. They're like, "Who made that? Fab Fours? Really? I hate Fab Fours." That's everyone's reaction.
Really? They made something cool?
I mean, I don't. Are they really part of Fab Tech and Factor 55 and Warner? Is it just?
I think they're all they're all buddies. I think.
All right.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Well, and people even like he's trying to, he would probably just give his rack away. Like, I'm not kidding. Like,
If someone wanted it, they could have it.
He could have it. Because, like, seriously, like, we'll tell people and they're like, that's really cool. And then they're like, it's Fab Four. And they're like, I don't really think I need it. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's
we
hilarious.
loved it.
I loved it. I loved the look of it. I haven't seen a Jeep with it in real life ever. I saw some on Instagram from Florida, and I think that's kind of relates. It's a Jeep Beach kind of a feature.
Yeah, it's like basically a glorified light bar.
It's a glorified light bar mount that sticks in the back.
For the back.
And takes up the whole.
Strap stuff to the sides of it. It looks cute. Anyway.
We strapped Christmas tree lights to it.
Kind of that Marty McFly pickup truck look.
And it does have the Marty McFly pickup truck look, yeah. Especially even has the two tubes.
That's awesome.
And so
I can always kind of get behind that just because of
nostalgia.
nostalgia.
I can't give that damn thing away, man. No one wants it.
Yeah. And when he does his cage, they're gonna build one for the Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we want it back. We want that Toyota, or not Toyota, but Tonka truck kind of feel like with the race.
There you go. I'll tell you what, Pope, we'll add it to the giveaway. That way you can get rid of it.
Give it away that way.
So you should
at the very
raffle
least,
it
somebody
off.
else is saddled with getting rid of it. Yeah, exactly.
If anybody wants his old bed rack, just message us at Gem
Just
and the
message
Misfit.
Gem and the Misfit. And they'll get you taken care of. That's amazing. All right. We should do some news here because at least a couple of these are pretty good.
Oh yeah.
We can skip the Hell's Revenge one and we'll do that another day.
Okay.
Let's pull up your theme music though. I want to make sure we get it this time. Today, Junior.
Today.
Time for the Pope to read the news. Wait, we got the fucking Pope? Sorry, Trailheads. I'm now told it's just a guy named Pope reading the news.
Just the fucking Pope reading the news.
Just the fucking Pope.
All right, so there's some news about Hell's Revenge. You should Google it. It's pretty interesting, but the article we have basically tells us all we know about Hell's Revenge.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's on the National Trail List. All right.
It's on the National
article.
Trail List. That's good. Mm-hmm.
Next article. BRC, that is our good buddies at the Blue Ribbon Coalition. They've won an injunction against the commercial filming restrictions that have been proposed. So, in a significant victory for the BRC and off-road enthusiasts, the United States District Court granted a preliminary injunction against federal permit and fee requirements for commercial filming on public lands. This ruling allows BRC to continue documenting outdoor activities without financial or bureaucratic burdens. The case gains added relevance following the recent Chevron Deference ruling, which limits agency power and emphasizes the need for clear congressional authorization for such regulations. This decision underscores the importance of protecting First Amendment rights and responsible land use.
This is a good one. So
This is a good one.
if you're not familiar, the BLM had proposed a rule essentially saying that anybody that did any kind of filming that was going to end up on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or anything essentially was going to require a permit and a fee. And if you didn't get that permit or fee, there were going to be some stiff fines. And if you didn't get that permit or fee, there were going to be some stiff fines to go along with it. Damn it.
What's really funny is Randy muted it right before. I don't think.
I'm trying to keep him like under control. Like I watch it out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, I even like waited until you started talking to even open my can, and then I like pushed, and then he unmuted it and started pouring like right then.
I say you don't edit it out. Don't even bother editing it out.
I'm going to leave that one in there. That's part of the show. No, I don't really care about the live shows. Yeah,
I'm married to him. What do you think? You get like 2 hours a week with him. You get 2 hours a week with him. I am married to him.
But it brings me joy. I'm laughing about it. So holy shit, that's amazing. All right. What was I saying? What were we talking about? We were talking about something.
About we can actually use our footage. Yeah, the fines. There's no more fines with the footage and stuff that we take in parks.
And I think it's been murky territory for some time. And I know, part of the reason why I have a drone license, which gives me some like roundabout permissions to do things and don't require any kind of special permissions to do that. But the minute that you start trying to monetize it or put it on YouTube or anything like that, it starts to get real murky when it comes to the SEC alone. And then the BLM stepped in and said, well, you're going to need a fee and a permit from us too. And it gets real dicey.
Yeah, and then and then Blue Ribbon Coalition's using drone footage to show off how pretty the trails are and they're not destroyed. And they're like, no, you can't use that footage that shows the trails are not destroyed.
Well, one of the things that they're upset about, and
that's my tinfoil hat comment.
No, it's relatively valid. They don't want it's easier to close stuff off if people don't have eyes on it. And the putting a drone up in the air and getting visual pictures to prove that, hey, people are using this road, it's not being reclaimed, that's a big deal. And to not have to worry about getting extra fees, to just go out there and kind of document some of this stuff, because the Blue Ribbon Coalition is a nonprofit, even though they are advocates. So they have a really weird
potential to impact us, and had potential to impact people like us who try to use social media for, well, I'm not really saying we do this, but like people like use it for a job, and like people like use it for just even like acting as an influencer and then taking the Reels bonus.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're now monetizing your content and you're now breaking the law. And even in a gray area where you're just kind of posting it to be popular, and like we are, it's just like, there's no other, that kind of stuff they could have been coming after us for, especially because, there's all these different ways they could consider what we're doing, making money or making a profit. And I think this is a good thing. It's a step in the right direction.
I think we should get like a negative profit. Like, we've been negative profit. There is no profit here. So like,
that's another episode at all. That's another episode altogether about how to make Uncle Sam pay for off-roading.
No, let's. I can answer that question for you, but it's still a net loss for me. I don't care how much I'm spending way more money on my brand than my brand is making me. And that's okay. Like, it's I'm not in this for the money, but it's just funny. Like, when they say things like, well, if you're on YouTube and you're going to need to get a permit from the BLM and it's going to cost you $50 or $100 to do that, and you're just like, that's never going to happen. Like, I don't have another $150 to do that, and for each trail, or to get a permit each time, and it seems kind of ridiculous.
And it's actually like, there's a bureaucracy. There's probably enough people in line that it makes it impossible to do it. There's all those little things that.
Well, and it's funny, because the SEC has made it real easy to get clearance to for special kinds of permissions to fly your drone, for instance.
Mhm.
You can get permission and a certificate to fly within 10, 15 minutes of submitting your request for one, because it's mostly automated now. I have zero confidence that any kind of a system like that would ever go into place. So this is one of those things where it's just an injunction, but I think it's a good step in the right direction, and I think that the next story explains why that's a good step in the right direction, because they won't be able to just make rules that they want to make anymore.
Yes. This is the one that came across my news feed that I was hoping we would get to talk about.
100%.
This is the historic Chevron Deference ruling. So this is from a Supreme Court ruling that we got this week, or was last week? So big news from the Supreme Court that could directly impact off-roading, including the recent closures in Moab. On June 28, 2024, the Supreme Court overturned the Chevron Deference Doctrine. For 40 years, Chevron allowed courts to defer to federal agencies' interpretations of ambiguous laws. The court ruled that judges must now independently interpret laws without defaulting to agency interpretations. This means the Forest Service and the BLM and other similar agencies can no longer unilaterally decide on land use based on their interpretations. This could lead to more consistent regulations for off-roaders, reducing sudden closures like those in Moab. However, it might also slow down the regulatory process, making it harder to adapt to new needs swiftly.
Yeah,
this ruling is a double-edged sword. It brings predictability, but could limit your quick responses to emerging issues. So stay tuned as we see how this impacts the courts, our Congress, and our trails. So basically, kind of in a nutshell, a giant closure like the one they just did in Moab would require Congress to evaluate it, is kind of what I'm interpreting here.
Essentially what they, and Ben kind of talked about this, and I was looking for the clip earlier and I couldn't find it, but I know he talked about this once before. But the Chevron deference is essentially saying, was set 40 years ago, and it essentially said that us Congress is going to say, here's the idea that we want you to strive for, is we want you to find, get more wilderness, or we want you to do this, we want you to do that, we want you to do this, but we're going to kind of give you some loose guidelines on how to do that, and then we're going to leave it up to the individual agency to come up with all of the rules and all of the guidelines and all of those kinds of things. And this essentially says you can't just hand over lawmaking to bureaucrats, which is what they did. So what they're saying is now is if you, Congress, want to pass a law about wilderness, then you need to spell out those rules in the law itself. You can't just defer to the BLM. You can't just defer to the Forest Service to decide what it is that they determine, or bureaucrats who are non-elected can then just determine what it is that they want to have closed or open or whatever else. Someone has to answer for it now. So this is awesome news for the BRC. This is a big deal for them, because now it means they can go back and challenge a lot of these rules that the BLM and has set up, including closures like the one in Moab. And they can say that they can actually point to this, saying you no longer have the ability to just close this without Congress saying you need to close this trails.
Excellent.
So it's good. It's really, really good for us.
They found the loophole to basically doing what the people would like, or what the general thing that, like, there's this group of vocal minority, if you will, that says that's kind of extreme and wants to close down the trails, and they're like letting that vocal minority just kind of go move into these places, and the BLM take part of it, and then they help shut down the trails. It's like literally what they're doing. Like Ben went into that detail with us a little bit in one of our podcasts in a much different way of saying so. But basically, you've got environmentalists or whoever wants to go close these trails going and joining BLM and then closing the trails in these areas without any feedback from what the people in the area want.
Right.
It's inconsistent at best. Yeah, it's inconsistent at best about what they're closing and what they're not closing. And so
Well, and so
Yeah,
you
I
get
think it's-
situations like Moab where they close trails, and then you get situations like in Idaho where they're opening a couple miles of trails after these travel management plans, and it's very obvious that it's the people who are in power that are making decisions based on their feelings, less so about what the actual whatever science on the ground is. So
Right. It's another way of attacking people based on what they believe in, too, by saying, you know, all these off-roaders, they tend to lean a certain way politically. We're going to attack them that way. And, you know, it's kind of the same thing that, you know, that people complain about for decades. And, you know, we don't want to get overly political because this is our line. Yeah. BRC is our line. But, like, we do need to pay attention to these types of things, and I think that this is a great way to keep it from allowing people to do undue influence. And there's a set of rules that you have to follow that you're going to be consistent with. So I think that's good.
Yeah, I think it's good too. I've said before, I'm a more liberal person in that arena, but I feel like bureaucrats shouldn't be making these kinds of decisions on large swaths of this country. You know, and it's just not a good idea for a whole host of reasons. And there's other reasons and other things for other political purposes that, yeah.
But I mean, we don't need to get into that. We've seen what happens in Moab to the other areas that they're trying to build wealthy neighborhoods in. So when nobody's checked, we saw what happened. And they're going to do that to these other. This is what's going to happen again. So, and that's another reason to get after them, because they're like, oh, we should close these areas down. Oh, guess what? You can now build a whole neighborhood where there's a luxury community where this off-road trail was. We're going to destroy the entire environment, but at least no one's going to be driving gas guzzlers on it. So that's
exactly.
Oh, I have videos of down in Moab,
where they're building neighborhoods on Cane Creek Road, where that used to be, that's somebody's campground, and that was an area that was supposed to be that. They used some loopholes and back doors to close it.
Now they're building.
Oh yeah, if there's money involved, they'll keep it open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, and I think slowing down the regulatory process in some of this is good. I mean, you're talking about, oh, we got to close all these trails in Moab yesterday. They've been there for 100 years though. Like, is it really gonna pain you if we take a little bit longer to make an educated decision here, or is it just, are you that zealous about it? And I think the answer is they're that zealous.
Zealous. That's the word I was looking for.
Is that the word you're looking for? All right. We got it.
Overzealous.
That's awesome. All right. Let's see here. What else we got? That's it for the news. And so there won't be any
for the fucking news.
For the fucking news with Pope. If you're listening on the recorded version, so there's no BRC update this week because I wanted to talk about that one on the show because that's a big deal. Like I'm not saying that the BRC has been quiet for the last few days, week or so, but I feel like they've been quiet because they're busy behind the scenes now doing a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm very excited to see what happens. So we'll talk about it when they do. I guarantee it. All right, cool. Let's see here. I wanted to bring up this because I have always wanted to send a heap up over the mountain. I am not tired of dealing with anything serious. Hang on 1 second here. Have you guys ever heard of the car launch in Alaska on the 4th of July?
No.
So
I remember something from last year.
Every year, they just yeet vehicles.
Love seeing and anything podunk country.
They just yeet them.
They just yeet vehicles off the edge of the cliff and a glacier there. I guess it's constantly changing, so you don't have to worry too much about the impact because they just clean it all up later. But yeah, they just yeet vehicles off the side, and I saw it come up in my feed yesterday, and it's just like, oh, that just needs to happen on the show.
Is this where that motorhome video was?
Yes, and I don't know if that was in here or not. Let me see if it's in this video someplace. This is the only story I could find on YouTube of it.
Show the clip from Instagram if you can't.
I'll have to get the clip from Instagram here. Yeah, hang on a second.
Because that was cool. Like that whole. So how are they launching these? Are they in? There's not. Obviously, they're not in them.
Oh no, I think they're all kind of emptied out, and they're not really like nobody's. Nobody's in them. Obviously, I think that they're just sending the vehicles as is. I've got it here. Hang on.
They probably like remove glass or something.
I'm sure there's a whole host of like environmental things that they got to take care of. I think they're just sending the shells, and my guess is that they're sending it off of some sort of a magnetic launch of some kind. But yeah, it just I didn't even see the
boat.
The trailer is America, and there's a boat behind it. I didn't see the boat earlier.
That's amazing.
The American flag trailer is amazing.
Yeah, that's definitely just the
collapse. It just collapsed.
That launched really far too.
I mean,
yeah, it did.
I mean, the boat though, like, is like the icing on the cake on that.
Where was the boat? Was it just?
It was attached.
He was towing it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a trailer right there.
Oh, there is a tow trailer. There is. Yeah, look at that. Oh my god.
The trailer fell
down.
It
came off the trailer.
It's barely seeing. Yeah, you can see it right here.
Oh,
you can kind of see it right here. Yeah. This is like the Zapruder film now. I love this. Or just back and to the left.
We forget we're a radio. We forget we're a radio program, but.
No, you know what? We're trying to push more people to this part of the show. Like, if you're really interested, you got to come check us out on the YouTubes or the
check us out live,
the Spotify video, or live, even better. Yeah. All right. So that's just an amazing.
You can say what I say before he edits it all out.
Here's the fun part about the live shows. I really don't add much of anything. I gave up on that a long time ago. It's too much of a shit show, guys.
It is.
All right. Let's see here. What else we got in this week in fail? I think I did get a couple. This one. Pope, you sent this one, I think.
There's a couple of them I sent this week, but I think this is this one is one of my favorites.
Are we ready to talk about what went wrong here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did he bounce?
Dude.
Audio. Oh, that's really loud. I'm not going to do that.
He wasn't. I'm glad that guy in the sandals is heading down there to go help.
Well, my favorite comment. There was a good comment, and it said, when it's like what went wrong, it said something about he didn't gas it enough to do the full 360.
Oh yeah, there it is, right there. I shared it on my stories. I think he went for a 360 and undercooked it.
Here it is, right here. Yep, we just liked it as a podcast, so welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that's...
Oof.
So, I have a theory as to what I think really happened.
Oh?
Randy and I have kind of the same theory. He wasn't expecting that. No, he was... No, so
he think?
But if he's catch, he comes up and then he pushes the
gas more. I think he accidentally gassed into it.
Like a foot slipped?
Yeah, so like when that thing comes up like that, when you're coming around the corner and you don't think your car's going up in the air, I think his foot slipped or got pushed harder into the gas pedal, caused the rear tires to just flip him up on his lid.
Nice.
He should have.
Well, whoever down there told him said, "Stay in it. You'll get up there." But
someone told him you got to send it and you got to stay in it and you got to stay committed. That's how this happens.
Yeah. That's not how this. Yeah, that's not how you should do it. And I think this is the other one that you sent. Hang on a second here.
Yeah,
it's the send it video. Is that the one I'm looking at here?
No, the one with the recovery strap. With the recovery rope is the funny one.
Oh, let me see. I gotta get that one. Hang on a second here.
We've all sent a bunch of funny. Yeah, the one on the beach.
That one.
Okay, so this one makes me laugh. Yeah, this one makes me laugh only because Josh did this. And now it ended well for Josh. It does not end well for this Bronco.
Let's see. Oh shoot!
That's all I'm gonna give you. Yeah.
Yeah. And Broncos, it seems like Broncos just keep on honking after you crash them for some reason.
Okay, so this is the question. This is what I don't get because, like, I throw my Jeep off like a cliff all the time.
We slam them into rocks.
Do these things. When does the airbag deploy? I mean, like...
when
Randy rolled her Jeep, right?
I rolled my Jeep and it
toppled over. No airbags.
No airbags.
Speed.
Randy's jumped her Jeep like this. No airbags.
I jumped my Jeep. I've jumped my Jeep like 15, 20 feet. Landed.
Now she's
in the front, and then it was a soft landing-ish.
Yeah,
but I'm just wondering when does
it was not a soft landing for this guy, and I was trying to kind of pause it here because there's a split second where you can see the front end of this Bronco just bend, and my guess is that there's an impact sensor on there's multiple impact sensors in the vehicle, but there's one in the front of the vehicle. And if you're going fast enough and that impact sensor goes off, then the airbags go off like that. So, but I think you have to be going a certain speed. And obviously he was going at least 20 miles an hour.
He had to be going at least 20.
At least, but yeah,
I think to get it to fly like that, you got to go about 30 or 40.
I was going how fast was I going when I caught air and jumped?
You were going like 40, but we didn't jump something quite like that.
No, we didn't come up and down. We went up and glided.
For like 20 feet.
It was fun.
Yeah,
so the other time I've seen the airbags pop on not in real life, but it was Texas Bronco Buster, the guy that makes the Bronco Buster tie rod reinforcements. He rolled his on Pritchett on Rocker Knocker, and he wasn't going as fast as him. He was probably going like Jem was, and he rolled, and then all of his airbags on all four sides came out. The thing wouldn't stop honking.
It has to be. Well, I know
Bleeping Jeeps YouTube if you're looking for that. It's kind of
so. My guess is it has something to do with the clock spring. That's going to be my canary in the coal mine because guess who got a whole brand new dash from Caraboter and still has no steering wheel controls. And it has to go back to the dealership when they get back from vacation. So,
fun. Good luck having the dealer work on that.
Yeah, now they're gonna. Well, they've done it before. Apparently I had to replace a $1,600 dash before they'll actually replace it this time. So that's a conversation for me and the service manager another day.
Oh, sounds like fun conversation.
Not really. I don't. I mean, they're gonna fix it. I mean, I should just leave him alone. I'll probably just leave it alone.
They're gonna fix
bitter,
it. So
I swear.
Don't chew them out any worse, right?
I'm not. I mean, honestly, they've been good about it. It's just I know they're done with me. So here's the one that Pope wants.
No, it wasn't even that one.
No, which one was it?
The one from today.
Okay, I'll go back and get it in a second. This is the one with the guy. This guy jousts with himself. Yeah, this is awesome.
This is one of the best.
Those of you who go to fail. Those of you who go to a Ren Fair on the weekend and you see the jousting thing, think of the same thing, but with a mud pit and a log and a guy with a hot. I'm not sure what this is, but this is just boom right in it.
What is that? Is that like one of those Land Rover? Is that some sort of a Land Rover?
It might be. It's at least.
It's ruined.
It's a Suzuki, maybe. It's definitely not going anywhere.
Oh, it's probably a Suzuki.
Oh, it's really too loud. Yeah. Sorry, that's way too loud. Yeah,
it just makes my heart hurt.
Yeah, I mean that's bad luck.
The one where the log goes up through the center of the UTV. Have you seen that one?
No, that sounds terrifying.
It's like it literally just it goes right past. It goes through the engine bay and comes up and through the windshield, but barely misses this guy. It's unreal. I'll send it to the group. You've probably seen it.
Okay. And I know which one you're talking about, the recovery point one. Okay. Yeah, we were going to talk about this, weren't we? Because Alyssa had some feelings about it, and so did I. All right. So let's for those of you listening, I'll just describe this as we roll by here. But this person in his vehicle is taking a video and watching a recovery on a beach, and there is a recovery strap through the window and wrapped around both A-pillars of this car, and it looks like they're just going to start yanking on it and pulling it, and that's just terrifying. Like so Alyssa, what was your question? Your question to the group?
So my question is, as a passerby Like you're passing seeing this. Like it's obviously one of those beaches where everyone's stuck all the time. But you're driving, you're passing, you see something, you know it's not going to go well for the stuck person and the recovery person. Do you say something or do you mind your own business and keep going?
So I have strong feelings about this particular video.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would 100% say something, and mostly because there is a significant safety factor involved here. And it's just very obvious that something could go really, really wrong with this, whatever they're trying to do here. And I at least have to say out loud to them as a group, you shouldn't be doing that. I mean, I give them tips. I mean, I give them tips and advice, but I'm also going to be like, that's going to end in somebody dead.
Yeah.
But not everything. Pope, what do you think?
Oh, I think you should. I think you should stay and watch at least.
I mean,
he's like, I'm recording, so
it's hard. It's hard because like we're in so many situations where there's so many ships of a captain, like captain ships. Like I feel like when we're in these environments now, if it's like blatant and it is like, okay, that's a really bad idea, and they obviously don't know what they're doing, I will say something. If it's like, well, that's sketchy, but I think they know what they're doing, then I'm usually like, you know what, I don't need to be another problem.
Yeah, and it kind of, and I also wonder how they landed at that as their recovery point. The windshield is your recovery point, basically, at this point. There's
amazing.
It's amazing to me how I think you're supposed to stop and tell them something at least, unless there's like 20,000 people around and they have yellow Mats off-road recovery vehicles, then let them recover.
Like, do that. I'm so confused on what.
I don't. I'm not entirely. Yeah, I don't know how this ended, but I would at least say something, at least to help myself sleep. But there's a lot of situations where I'm of the opinion that you should let them learn their lesson.
But I think if someone could get
doesn't
hurt,
mean someone's going to die. Yeah.
I think if someone can get hurt and you don't, I think you should say something. I like Randy said though, we've been in spots where we actually are watching people do something wrong, but there's so many
cooks in the kitchen
that we're letting the other people just kind of do what they think they're going to do, and then after it doesn't work, we kind of like, I knew that wasn't going to work, but but we're letting them, we're letting people do their thing most of the time. But like, if I can see that you're going to hurt somebody or yourself, I think I would speak up in this spot.
Yep.
And I would at least yell out the window. I would have at least stopped and recorded for a few more minutes to figure out what the hell, how this ends.
Yeah.
Because I'm dying. I don't see how this ends. Like, what are you guys doing?
So if anybody's listening out there and knows how this, either a Hyundai or a Toyota Tercel, I'm not entirely sure what this is.
Yeah.
If you know how this story ended, please let us know so that we can find out.
I really don't know. Like, so let's hypothetically, like, let's say you do get out and
game out the physics.
Yeah, you game out the physics. How do you solve it? Is there recovery points on like the tie rod? There's no axles on these.
Yeah, they can get to.
You can't put you can't put it
if
around.
they dug to it.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't the truck drive to the back? Because so in this video,
that's
you
a
can't
better
see
question.
The front tires are dug into the sand more than the rear tires are.
And if you go to the back of this vehicle, it has an axle. Back there.
That you probably be able to get a lot easier access to. You could have yanked it forward or backward to get it to go forward. Yep.
Yeah, so why didn't the
see
truck
that part.
move?
Wow. There's a lot of bad decisions being made here. Then
options that you could do in this situation that are not what they're doing, but
because it's not like it's not like they're limited to only being able to pull it out of the front. They could definitely just pull it out the other side.
Like, do you think the tide's coming in?
No.
Is there a time concern here?
They're not close enough.
They're not close enough that it would matter.
Okay. Yeah.
That's funny.
They're stuck in the mud, though. I mean, it's not even mud. Like if they were aired down, they probably would be able to get out of it. The trick to sand is flotation.
San Luis Obispo. Yeah. This is California. All right.
All right. So back to the other thing. Nathan did some research. It said about the airbags. It says, despite popular belief, the sensor is not activated by impact per se,
I'm wrong.
but is triggered by rapid deceleration or the rate at which a vehicle slows down. As a result, the sensors do not activate at the same rate at all speeds and in all crashes. Interesting. So it's the rate that you're stopping. So maybe because I'm going so slow, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, and I didn't when I landed on my jump, I didn't push the brakes. I accelerated.
Yeah, that's another thing that if you are jumping your vehicle like that.
So maybe he landed on he hit his brake when he came down. He should have accelerated a little bit.
In order for your brakes to work correctly, you have to be on the ground. And if you are in the air and you push on the brakes, your tires are going to stop instantly. And then when you hit the ground, you're going to have a sudden jarring effect of your tires hitting the ground and not moving. It'll either topple you over forward or at least have the effect of smashing you straight into the ground where the rest of your car hits
if you accelerate, just touch the gas just a little. As you're coming down, it pushes it right out.
Yeah.
But that's probably why, is because I didn't brake.
Yeah, she jumped. She hits the gas on the way down.
Not like hard, just a little.
Just hit the ground running. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to hit the ground running, exactly.
Yeah.
There it is. All right.
And if you're not into jumping your Jeep, there's some advice for your side-by-side. It works there too. Yeah, when in doubt, throttle up. That's like the guy that went upside down backwards. He was throttling out.
And I remind all of you that none of us are professionals, and to take all of our advice as non-professionals. So.
Remember, like two out of the 5 of us here have rolled their vehicles in the last 6 months.
The 2 people who
the 2 people explaining how to jump both rolled recently, so
we have no leg to stand on. We are literally
I only don't like that you said that. Like it's just a matter of time before it's 3 out of 5 and then 4 out of 5. Like you got that too, Alyssa, right? Like it felt a little.
I was like, maybe I won't do my trip next month. Yeah.
Maybe I won't get those half doors. Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, thank you, Nathan. Appreciate that. Appreciate you as our unpaid intern producer. It's always helpful when you get a little bit of on-air fact-checking information.
Yeah,
because I honestly don't remember. It's been a long time since I looked at any of that stuff.
G-forces, your cars have a lot of accelerometers and stuff in them to determine what they're doing, and so
my car's way smarter than I am most of the time.
Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense why it doesn't just like we've bumped into the front of stuff so many times, and if you look at your Jeep, like I don't know if you've ever replaced a bumper on a Jeep. There's literally no sensors or anything of any sort in the front bumper. It's a wire for your fog lights, and that's it. Then it bolts onto 2 frame horns basically on the front. So,
I think I got an air canister or something. I have some sort of sensor up front, but it's not airbags.
Yeah.
So I think it's the temperature.
Ours are just lights.
All right. Yeah. Well, there's that now. I only replaced my bumper once, and then I screwed it up. That's
the temperature is behind the grill somewhere, so it's not in the bumper. I don't know if that's the case on the JK.
Nathan's opinion is that he thinks on the modern Jeeps the airbag sensor is above the transmission or somewhere in that area.
That makes sense. That's where the off-road sensors are.
It's kind of the center of the vehicle. Yeah, makes sense. All right. Well, cool. Well, thank you, Nathan. Appreciate it. All right. We're rolling up on here an hour and 20. We should get out of here, shouldn't we?
Sure.
I feel like it.
Wow, we could have a less than 3-hour live show. That'd be interesting.
I know. I feel like this might be good for us on a whole host of reasons. Yeah. All right, cool. Let me double check here, make sure we don't have any other comments here to comment about in the thing.
I would like to mention that my Jeep is in one piece. It's also
we didn't talk about that.
It's also been out on the trail twice, and it's amazing, and it's really beautiful. I would just
The
like to
colors
throw
are
that up.
so pretty.
Thank you. I love
Yeah.
her so much. Like, I literally kind of don't know how we got here. It's just, it's so crazy.
When all of that's going on, it's kind of hard to see the forest for the trees, so to speak. And so when you finally get it, it's just like, oh, here's all that stuff. So when you posted that picture of you just sitting in it in the driveway, I was like, yeah, that's about right. Like, it's just, I've got it now. It's mine.
I want to get out of her. And honestly, like, we've now been on 2 trails, the 2 of us, and it feels very, very, very good. So
yeah, it had been so long since the both of us have been out on the trail. Since
almost a year since we've had like a consistent, like, I mean, we've been out a couple of times within, like, since last August, either his Jeep's been down, my Jeep's been down, and to have 2 trails completely consistently, like, and then to wake up in the morning and open the garage and it smells like 2 working Jeeps. Like, it smells like a little bit of antifreeze and a little bit of rubber.
Yeah,
so good.
You got a little bit of a Slepco smell in there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of all the fluids and like like they've been sitting in there cooking all night because we got home and we were all hot, and then we shut the garage and like you open the garage in the morning and it's like, oh, they both work. It's
like our Jeeps are in the kind of condition that like you're smelling all the fluids now. Like you got gear, we've got gear oil, we've got motor oil,
a lot of little weird things, but all of our fluids are topped off and all good. We're just burning off the old shit that's happening somewhere.
That's what I tell myself too, and then I'm down 2 quarts of oil when I go to get an oil change.
There's no leaking under there. We've checked everything out, but just so you know, like,
Misfit has diff leaks for sure.
That's the only thing you didn't get replaced, right?
Basically, yeah. The only thing I haven't fixed recently is the diff covers, so that's next.
All right, sounds like I can't remember. There's somebody I know that the shop, the Edge, they swear by a certain kind of seal. I'll let you know.
And it might even not even be the cover. Well, the cover's been damaged by the power steering, the hydro assist smashing into it. And maybe a couple of, and then the bottom of it's been smashed up by rocks. So between the 2 of those things, it's kind of, maybe the seal might be a little damaged. The diff cover probably doesn't need to be replaced, but I think I'm going to just replace it with a fresh one anyway, because I don't like the damage on the other one.
But yeah,
all right,
that's all. I'm just happy that we're together. And do you know how much I absolutely love him being in his vehicle and me being in mine? It's amazing.
There's not a lot of room in a Jeep for 2 people. Like they really.
No.
He takes up one of my cup holders, and that sucks.
The one video we didn't share, which was the guy doing the pitch meeting about a Jeep, saying that it seats 4, 1.5 comfortably.
Yep.
That really hit me in a very personal place when he said that out loud. It's like, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
And the dog is usually the half.
Me and Moose are awesome in my Jeep together.
That's amazing.
But
Here, should we play that real quick?
Be like 4 people in just a minute.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you're doing that, though.
I don't know.
He's so cute, though.
I don't know. We'll find out when I get to Colorado's, like, one of my last stops at the end of August. So I might give them to you. We might see how it went. Like,
all right. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is that if you bring him here and be like, I can't anymore with him. Like, I know I'll lose that fight. So he's got a home. Even if I say no, he's got a home.
Whatever.
But,
you love him so much.
She does. I know it is. That's exactly what it is.
He's perfect.
All right. He's adorable.
He's so good.
He's just adorable.
Oh my gosh.
So well, go ahead.
Side note on that. We watched the fireworks last night. I took him out. We watched fireworks. Didn't phase him.
Awesome.
He's great. He's great. He just sat there and he ate his bones.
That's good.
My friend's kid, I think he's like 6 years old. They got like glow sticks and they made like bracelets and necklaces and stuff. He was playing ring toss with his ears. with like being tossed onto Ezra's ears. He thought it was the best thing ever, and Ezra was just chilling, like, okay, like, yeah, great. Now he's chasing his tail. So yeah, he's great.
They're very cute at that age. They're not that smart, if I'm being honest. They're smarter. They're not the smartest. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. And you didn't break any vehicles this week since I failed that particular question early on in the show. So you didn't break anything. We're good this week so far.
Yeah, so far. Just need an oil change, but it's not broken.
Okay.
Just need to do it when it's 115 out.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
And as mentioned, I just need a new clock spring. I think that's the problem.
Randy's the opposite of broken. She's actually like past safety inspection even.
Oh.
Yeah, she's
we're
legal.
official even.
I am legal. Almost legal.
Wait, they have to safety inspect you for a salvage?
Yeah.
Safety and admissions.
I didn't have that
safety
here.
and admissions in Utah to get your rebuilt title.
Yeah, we only have admissions here, like when it comes to like renewing every year. But when you have to prove salvage, you have to make sure it's safe before they'll like give you your title back.
Oh, I wonder if the shop I had just did that for me. They might have just done that paperwork. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I was deemed safe. My admissions didn't pass because my battery
Wait, you were deemed safe or the Jeep was deemed safe?
The Jeep was deemed safe.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
By the skin of our teeth, it was good. But then my admissions did not come back right because my battery hasn't done a full cycle. So I'm just driving her around a little bit to try to get those codes off. And then she should be great.
Okay.
So we're pretty much done.
All right.
And she's insured and everything's great. Everything's wonderful in this world. I have my own Jeep.
We're finally on the other side of
We're on the other side.
hell that we had to go through to get here.
Yeah.
Very nice. FYI, clearing codes. If you're not getting codes anymore and you start 3 times and run 3 times for at least 2 or 3 minutes without getting a code or like an actual code in the engine, then it'll clear in your dash and then your emissions are good.
Yeah,
FYI.
They just basically said I needed to run like
hers isn't any codes.
It's not a code.
None of the systems are started yet because the battery was disconnected for like 3 months.
Yeah.
And so the computer has to basically anytime and this happens anytime if you clear your code with your taser or if you pull the battery, you're going to have you won't be able to pass emissions right away because your car's computers have to recalibrate themselves and make sure everything's running properly. And so that's something that might be helpful for you to know. But yeah, you have to once that's running and you can just get an IM inspector thing on Amazon for like $30. It's just a code reader and they also have IM. Yeah, so you can look at the IM section and decide and know if you're able to go in. That way you don't have to do multiple rescans.
Yeah, honestly, if you're upgrading your tires, you should be getting some sort of a reader that you can adjust the tire size with.
Mm-hmm.
And you should get the good one. Spend the extra $100. Get the really good ones. You can actually read the codes. And hey, Moose! That's Moose, right?
Yep.
That one's Moose, yep.
All right.
He's so cute.
He's a cute boy.
He looked like a kangaroo when he walked up.
He was like trying to walk out my body.
He's very pleased. I can tell. Mine just got up because he realized that I'm starting to wind down the conversation. So he realizes his time locked in my office is almost over. So, all right. Last thing. And then, Alyssa, you mentioned you were going someplace. Do you have an event or something that you want to promote? Or are you just going someplace cool soon?
Yeah, there's a couple events going on. So if you're out here in Arizona in the Phoenix area, July 21st, I believe, at Lake Pleasant Brewing, Little Bo Jeep from California will be out here, and she's hosting a meetup. That's in, I think, North Phoenix or Northwest Phoenix area. And then August 9, 10, 11 in NorCal, in Northern California, is an iCamper camp out. So if you have an iCamper, you are welcome to sign up and register for this and show up and meet everyone else that owns iCampers. And they're going to have activities, and I don't know if it's raffle prizes. I don't know. They're going to have stuff for us. But it's like an iCamper community thing.
All right.
And then at the end of it is the Overland Expo in Loveland at the end of August. And I'll be out there at the Toyo Tires booth.
Oh, you're going to be at the booth. That's fun. Okay,
yes.
cool.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm in Toyo Tires after I drive through like 5 states. I don't know why they... I'm so
because
grateful,
you're going to be driving through 5 states. That's why they're going to have you.
Like, yeah, they're not brand new at that point.
They don't care about that. They want to show if you're using them. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. I think they want to show that you're using them. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They are used.
I will definitely be there Saturday and Sunday. Where Friday is question mark, but definitely Saturday and Sunday.
Are you going to be
Should
in
I
Utah?
look for you or the unicorn?
Yes. So real quick side note on that. So that particular costume is very hot. It's very warm.
Yeah.
But I've discovered that they've started making the half versions, so it looks like you're riding the unicorn. And I have recently made that purchase at Temu, and in 2 to 3 weeks I expect to have that here, and I will have that for both the event, the Alpha Fun, and for the one in Loveland.
Okay.
So
if it's from Temu, I want to know if it looks like a unicorn.
I've had
weird animal.
I have had very good success with them. So
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
We ordered so actually here I'll show you right now. This was a flag I ordered for a promotional item for us, and I mean it looks great.
Oh wow.
So
$6.
Nice. $6.
Wow.
So they're not. I mean, I have gotten some crap from them, but I've gotten some really good stuff from them too. So it's like I'm gonna stick with the disclaimer that I stood with earlier. Some of it's good, some of it's not. So,
fair.
All right, cool. Pope and Randy, you guys gonna be any place soon?
Jeepers Jamboree from June 25th through whenever that ends.
All right.
So
you mean July 25th?
July 25th. Yeah.
That's all right.
Yep.
You're into the second bottle of booze now, right?
Definitely changed it up about halfway through the show.
Yeah, I'm definitely in my second can, so I get it.
So we're doing Jeepers Jamboree. I think there's still spots available, and if you want to go and sign up. It's a good way. We'll be hanging out at the lake a couple of days. We'll be out doing rock crawly things after that. Other than that, so.
But no snow cones. What'd you say, Alyssa?
Yeah, no snow cones.
I was just going to add to those dates for another one, but.
What else you got?
So I won't be there, but in Ouray, Colorado, or however you say the city, those dates, July 22nd to 26th, is the Rocky Mountain Toyota Roundup.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're in Colorado and have a Toyota or really anything, we accept anyone. Yeah.
I ended up there on accident in the same time that they were there. It was a giant parade of Toyotas. It was fun to watch, though. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool.
You just sneak in.
All right.
You were like, I'm an FJ.
Yeah, no, we were. It was actually my first trip only trip to Ouray, and my Jeep was still stock, so it was fun. Yeah, it was good. I need to go back, but for me, I've got a complicated thing with the tourist traps, so I'll go there eventually. I really need to remap Cinnamon, but it's just not high on my list. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, then I will see you at Overland Expo in Loveland, Colorado, in August, and then more presently, in a couple weeks here, I will be at the All for Fun event in Colorado, in Buena Vista, the vendor event, which happens on Wednesday, and I should have really pulled up the date here before I did this. But July 24th is open to the public. So they're going to have 40 plus vendors on site. We're going to record the show live that time with a couple of folks, and we're recording interviews throughout the day. So stop by and see me, and we'll get you on the show. So cool. All right, that's it. That's all I got. If you want to be like Nathan and be an unpaid producer of the show in some way, shape, or form, although unfortunately at this point Nathan's going to be in charge of any future interns. Give us a call at 719-408-0132 or visit us at thetrailheadnetwork.com. And if you've got a drink left, let's finish it.
All right, let's do this.
What you got?
Cheers.
All right. Oh, Randy's moved on to her drink.
Bahama Mama.
There's still mead left?
Yes.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Thanks, everybody. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time at the Trailhead.
See you soon.
Bye.
Mute on.
We're not started yet.
He's just.
Hope is a wrecking ball. I know.
Oh, let me know if you can hear him breathing. So you won't leave me alone now. Okay, I can,
No.
or you can mute it if he's just.
No, I think that it considers that background noise and removes it. I know. I'm aware of him.
That's good.
So I saw a picture of him on your Instagram feed, and we need to talk about the fact that he is ginormous now, and like the size of your mother.
Yeah.
Was that your mom?
Yep. Yeah. So I weighed him today. If you guys want to take guesses.
No. I'm gonna say 50 pounds.
I'm gonna say 55.
Pope's turn. Or does Pope count with you?
I think I would say 60.
He's 64.2 pounds.
Way off.
Wow.
I
Jesus
know.
Christ.
I thought it was going to say like 55, 56 or something. And he got on the scale and it was 64.
No.
I know.
He's huge.
He's huge. He's just getting more solid.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, and how many months is he
He's
now?
right here. 5.5.
Oh my God. He's
I
64
know.
pounds and he's 5.5 months.
Yeah.
What's
And
wrong?
I know where one of his siblings is, and his sibling has an Instagram. It's Dino or Dino. I don't know if it's Dino or Dino. But Dino, the GSD, is his brother. And his mom said he's 74 pounds. And I was like, oh my gosh, why is Ezra
massive.
smaller? And she said that he was the biggest puppy in the litter. And all the others are like normal size. So she just got the big one. But yeah, his brother is 74 and they're 5.5 months. But yeah.
All right. So you've officially moved on from picking him up.
Yeah, I can't do it anymore. I even try for him to like hop in the back seat, because he just started like 2 days ago jumping on my bed. He's using his back legs to actually jump. He's not just like climbing anymore. So he's still not jumping into the truck. He's getting his front paws up and then waiting for me to pick up his butt. And like the last couple days, I'm struggling. Like, we have to learn how to jump soon. You can't. Your butt's heavy.
Yeah. Like that would be like a thing where I would just have to hope that taking him to enough dog parks, he would learn it from another dog. Like he would pick it up as a maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But
maybe, yeah.
Depends on how intuitive he is.
Maybe puts one of his favorite treats in there that he can't resist. And he's like, I gotta get it.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to try. My trainer said she'd meet me. We're going to have to like meet at the mall and go to the underground parking because it's so hot outside now. We just can't do it outside. Yeah, we just have to lure him into it and trick him, and he'll start to get the motion down.
Where Alyssa is, it is the sun right now.
Yeah.
So that in Texas, I hear, is also baking, and everybody's just not feeling it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was another update for today. I saw Phoenix. I don't know if it's all of Arizona, but Phoenix, we broke today's record. We hit 118.
Oof.
So, yeah, it was hot. It was really hot.
That's
so hot. And I don't know what the humidity is. Yesterday was humid. So watching fireworks was kind of miserable. But It's slightly humid today. But yeah, just walking out, like getting out of my truck to go into the grocery store, just the sun, it feels like it's just like hot oven air.
Oppressive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sucks.
It's like you walk outside and you're like, oh, it's hateful out here.
It's just instant swamp ass.
It's like a wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
hard.
Well, I don't envy you. So like it was a pleasant 72 and 73 degrees here today. So I'm very sorry.
Amazing.
Well, it's actually a pretty nice day. All right.
Oh, that's nice. Nice for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry about that.